All right, let's take a look at some pre-market here. Little recap. I'm going to squeeze this 5-minute chart down and we can go see what happens overnight here. We opened at 5 p.m. Central. They ran it down, which is basically a continuation of what we had seen throughout the afternoon yesterday. It does find support down at 264, 258 there. When we get into the Tokyo Open at 7 p.m. my time, Central Time, immediate spike, immediate huge candle, pulls back 50%, runs, continuous run up, pull back 50%. This is what we've seen. It ran up the rest of the night. Now, we got to 7 o'clock, 7:15, they started running it down. I believe they did this in anticipation of the two reports coming out for PPI, and jobless claims. And let's go take a look at that. Let's get to economy here. I don't know what happened to my calendar. All right, jobless claims come out pretty hot. We're above the 4-week moving average here at 219 at 229. That's a negative, right? You would think, but we'll see that it's not necessarily a negative. We got the producer price index came out, big number here, 6.5% year to year. That's an big inflation number. Food, again, like we saw yesterday, though, without energy and food, very tame. I say that. I mean, we've got 4.9% there. So this is a hot inflation report. You would generally think that, okay, businesses wouldn't like that. But what we see, many times is that, especially with NQ, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back up. Investors within Q, they like these reports because they presage. When we got this rundown, we came down to Globex VWAP. They ran it back up. Treasuries ran up, so yields dropped. And what this is they anticipate a rate cut. They think, okay, this is it. The Fed is going to cut rates over this because we've got inflation and employment. That is the Fed's dual mandate. Is full employment and low inflation. So they got a little premium out of it. They just ran it back up to that 21. So we'll see what happens over the rest of the day. There's a bullish tint to this, a bearish tint to this still. We had a little range expansion down here. We're on the midpoint of this range as it stands here with yesterday's high and the pre-market low. These are institutional levels, so we're back inside yesterday's area. Haven't gone anywhere for the most part. If I take this, I'm going to go here and turn on this volume profile instead here. When we get VWAP here steadily inside, and VWAP's right here. We get VWAP steadily inside this. This yesterday's value area. We kind of think it'd be a rotational call, but we have to call this bearish today. We're getting similar action every day. On these longer time frames, we are below the 200. We have a 21 below the 200. Price right on the 21 below the 200 on the hourly. Same thing. The 8 had risen above those, so kind of a mixed message. Now the 4-hour, the 21. Coming down to the 200. So, this is obviously a bearish thing that we're looking at here, and we're getting candles up and down on the daily. The 8, the 21, the 8 is right on that, maybe a little bit below it. So the lower time frames, also a mixed message, but in general, I'd have to call this a bearish read, bearish neutral. I think what we've seen these previous days as a spike up on the open and then the bears express themselves. It could be a liquidity sweep from these institutions wanting to get in the position, and then it runs down. So it's just one narrative you could look at. Let's go look a little bit at our playbook here. Let me get a different version of that. Treasury yields and duration sensitivity. This is the number one thing today, all day long. We're going to watch those treasury rates. The 30-year are spiking right now. If I were to bring over my main chart here, this 30 years have been going up and going down. It's down a little bit from what it was just over the last hour or so. There's been some variation all to the upside, and obviously that's a little bit bullish. But this is what we're going to watch all day. We're going to watch these yields. We tend to get a movement towards the direction right at the open, so we'll see how that works out. And oil is flat right now. Not a lot there. Tomorrow's catalysts. Again, we have some inflation type data here, but there's nothing major tomorrow in terms of what we might look at in power hour. There'll be de-risking perhaps into the next day. The trade implications here today, impulse open, then reassessment. So that's what we've been seeing. That's it. Base case trend of surprise. We didn't, if it was a surprise, it was a surprise to the downside on those numbers we got. So we'll see. The downside risk is going to be higher today, but we'll trade it as it comes. And you guys have access to this and go over that in detail. That's what I've got right now. We'll be warming up for the open here pretty quick, and I'll see you in the room.